Good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to all our attendees today to listen to this wonderful webinar, Digital Transformation. Today is a great day for Aspire Media as well. We've been awarded as one of the best companies who have been supporting the entrepreneurship ecosystem in India. As I told you that we've been doing, or we've been trying to through various of our channels. So today's topic is a hot topic for every entrepreneur who's trying to turn the business online. They don't have a clue about how to go about, how to digitize their business, how to digitize activities, what are the various aspects of turning the business into online or turning into a digital platform. So the theme today is a step-by-step guide for SMEs, because most of the SMEs, they don't know how to transform their business to a digital platform. Digital transformation is leading the change in the business world, redefining and building new business models, both at organization and service levels. It's a word that everyone has gotten used to. In the past few years, it has evolved from a relatively new term to a process the whole world has adopted now. The change was driven by technology and augmented by pandemic crisis. So what is digital transformation? It means different to different people. And we would like to hear from the expert speakers today on various aspects of digital transformation. So I would like to quickly take you through the a presentation on today's agenda, speakers, and what we've been doing for the past many years. A quick intro about Aspire Media as a company which has been helping entrepreneurs, educating entrepreneurs on various aspects of their digital business. So let me present the screen. Hope you all can see the screen. Rahul, can you see the screen? Right. So hope you can see the screen. And
it's
digital transformation, as I told you, is a very hot topic, and but at the same time, not easy for many to understand how to transform their business. So we have made it very simple, a step-by-step guide for entrepreneurs to learn, and starting from as simple as what is digital transformation, how to get started, what are the main focus areas, how do you measure your ROI, and the benefits, and how to take it on a long-term process. So today's agenda, as we speak, we'll start with Mr. Gaurav, who will be talking on the meaning of digital transformation and the benefits, followed by Mr. Rahul. Kumar will be speaking on how to measuring the ROI of digital transformation and the key trends. Mr. Pugal will be talking about digitizing the GST compliance, and followed by Mr. Pugal, it will be Mr. Prateek Sharma, the CEO of Security Bulls, will be talking on the framework of digital transformation for SMEs and startups. We'll have a quick Q&A session. So if anyone would like to ask questions, please start entering your questions on the chat box on the side. There are certain rules of the house. Please keep your mic muted unless you want to talk. You can click on raise hand so we can grant you permission. And kindly restrict all your inquiries related to the topic, and please don't bring in other business or dilute or be a hindrance to others. Enjoy this. It's a very important webinar for you today, for any businesses for that matter. So I would like to thank all our partners, Tally, a technology partner, Aspire Media's SmallEnterpriseIndia.com, which is a platform for SMEs, as a media partner, and consulting is a knowledge partner. We have a business club who will provide leads, which will be happening in the near future. We are slowly building the platform, and GAIN, they are the accelerated partner for SMEs as well, organized by Aspire Media. That's a parent company. And a quick introduction about the company who is organizing this. We are a platform, a media platform that helps entrepreneurs educate them on every aspect of the business, whether it's technology or banking and finance or marketing or logistics. Everyone, whatever they need to know about running a business successfully, we help them through our magazines, through our webinar, through our online newsletters, websites, and Ask Guru, where you can ask a question and you get an answer within 24 hours. Any further questions, you can directly get in touch with our experts and they will help you take your project or any of your clarification further. So these are our gurus. We have more than 30 experts who help our SMEs, meet their requirement. Any doubts or clarifications can be addressed to them. And our magazine reaches more than 1.25 lakh SMEs across the country, both print and digital. We have various platforms through Geo platform for Maxter. It reaches Tier 2, Tier 3, even entrepreneurs in the villages. And the best part of our publication is we focus on aspects like, banking and finance, or how to grow from small to big, technology for SMEs, logistics, marketing. Every issue has got a cover story that helps them understand about that particular topic, which can help their business. So we have various products, print and digital, the business club, website, awards for startup and SMEs and conference, email marketing, webinars, online surveys, industry events, and of course consulting. So our magazine, as I told you, it's available on Geo. It has got an access to 250 million, Prime account holders, and Maxter is paid. Geo is free for all the Geo members. How we stand different from other business magazines are every month we have a cover story which is of great importance to our business, whether it's future workplaces or how to grow from small to big, startup essentials, franchise. All these topics have been detailed in each and every issue, making this issue a collectible for SMEs. Our consulting is an arm of Aspire Media with a group of more than 30 experts who has got an average of 25 to 30 years experience, whether it's legal or technology or finance or mentoring or HR. They help you to take your business forward. So we've been running for 13 years. And as I told you, today is a wonderful day that we got an award, which I would like to share with you today. Is one of the best plaque ever have seen, and this goes to not only for me, the entire organization at Aspire Media, Tapasia, our general manager, director, Rahul, who's head of IT marketing, Alita, who's managing our communications and marketing. This is a wonderful plaque. Never seen such. It's completely gold-plated, even in the back. So, if an entrepreneur getting an award like this is a great inspiration. I've been told this one award cost about more than 15 to 20,000, and this is done by a jeweler who's very famous in India, who's known to gold-plate anything, even starting from a 1 gram with a 1 gram gold coin. So it looks brilliant, and definitely it's for the service that we have done for the entire entrepreneurs community in India for the last 13 years. We are proud about it. The whole team is proud about it. And thank you, team. And thank you for all attendees who have been attending our webinars quite regularly. So this goes to all of you. I mean, I'm happy that, because of what we've been able to do for entrepreneurs today, we've been, recognized. We used to do awards in the past. For the last 4 years, we have been recognizing SMEs and startups. But today, someone has also recognized us by motivating and inspiring the whole, entrepreneur ecosystem in the country. Thank you once again. So let's start with our program for today. So starting off today's program, I will welcome Mr. Pugal of a senior consultant at Tally, to give a keynote speech. And I'll be introducing the rest of the speakers as we go. Welcome, Mr. Pugal, please. Pugal, I think you're on mute.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Dojo. Firstly, let me thank you and your team for wonderful achievement that you people have got today. And you people have been, basically, being a platform for educating and providing knowledge for SMEs. You people are doing a great job. And today's session is about digitization. And just 2 years back, before the COVID, there was a recent survey where the survey they found out that more than 78% of our SMEs were still offline. One way I think we should thank COVID, though it was a global disaster. Many of us have were forced to adopt technology, or we moved into digitization. So today, digitalization is becoming part of our personal life, and also, we have to basically start leveraging this technology and digitization in our, business or office or job environment. It's very, very important. In fact, we all know that even Telawala is digitized. In fact, very surprisingly, I had just gone to in Chennai, in one of the area I just went. You have this Ganesha's, one small temple kind of a thing. So there, even God is digitized. In fact, so the hundi. There was this QR code where I mean, like, you can just scan and then donate. So it is digitization is very, very important, very critical, and we have eminent speakers here today who would be actually guiding you or educating you or provide knowledge on how in a phased manner you can digitize and what are the benefits, because today everything is digitized and everything through technology are interconnected. Again, just to give you, I just keep investing in shares. I was surprised to see in my last form 26 years, one of the company had I got a dividend of 75 paise, and that also got reflected in my form AS26. So that way, digitization and technology, they're hand in hand. So I would definitely request all the participants here to if I mean, like, definitely you have digitized, but then we have to move forward and see that how completely you can leverage the technology for growing your business and taking to the next level. So I hope this session would give you a lot of knowledge and information. And over to you, Dojo.
Thank you, Mr. Pugal. Thank you for that short keynote speech and giving the overall concept of today's webinar. So I would like to welcome our first speaker, Mr. Gaurav Srinivas, who's a customer service professional and a business analyst for telecom sector. He has been in the telecom industry for the last 16 years. Also plays a role for as SME for subject matter expert for campaign management strategies and deployment, along with developing good customer experience management, CEM platform, and the customer-centric marketing and member engagement. As a business analyst, he has worked with Reliance Communications, IBM, AT&T, Vodafone, and MTNL. He has represented his organization at various forums in India and abroad. The topic what Gaurav Srinivas will be talking today is all about digital transformation, introduction, and the benefits. Welcome, Mr. Gaurav. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Dojo Jose. First of all, let me congratulate you for getting the award, the prestigious award today, which we all saw on this forum. Secondly, I thank you to create such a good forum where people can join in and exchange their thoughts. I would not say it's just a learning, it is also sharing. So before we go ahead, Mr. Pugal has already spoken about digitization and digitalization both. It is really a very basic concept. Most of us still think about getting digitalized, whereas we have not understanding it, or we have not understood it, that almost 99% of the people are using digital technology in some respect. As he's very well suggested, even the hundi has a QR code, but the priest there might not be thinking in that direction, because he might not be understanding the jargons which people normally use in the industry. But in terms of concept, yes, we all are using technology for our growth, interaction. When we say traditional marketing is still people go to the shop and buy, but that shopkeeper is also using digital media or some sort of digital marketing, either an SMS or a WhatsApp, to share the information. So now I would just like to just share my some thoughts. I'll share my screen, and obviously, yes, I'll just walk you through a small the basic slides to make you guys understand what basically we are looking at. So when I talk about, just let me know once you are able to see my screen.
Yes, Gaurav, we can see your screen.
Okay, so we are talking about digital transformation, as I said, it is what? It is basically what we are doing now and moving towards a digital platform. Whereas when we talk about this terminology, most of us, as I said, are already using a digital platform for some work or the other. But most important thing, when we technologists, uh, experts, SMEs come into picture, is that when we come together and do a streamlined transformation where we have an omni-channel present. So, for an example, if somebody is trying to get money through a digital platform, obviously there should be a process of synchronizing that he received money through QR code by one customer. There could be a different form, could be a Paytm wallet from a second customer, and the third customer paid directly in cash. So at the end of the day, there should be a synchronization that what he received and how he received, so that we can do what type of analytics could be used to understand which platform worked better and which needs improvement. So that is how we talk about digital transformation. So when we say what is digital transformation, very simple things, as I said, it is just improving the way what we are doing through digital processes. This is what it is about. Now, obviously, people talk about databases, people talk about checklists, people, obviously, everything is computerized. People, those days are gone when people were struggling to buy a desktop. Now, everybody uses a handheld devices to be on a faster side. So, when I talk about the stages of digital transformation, so when you can see what it is about, the first step has the biggest challenge. Why? The biggest challenge when I talk about is acceptance by the people and the leadership. So when we talk about small and medium enterprises, the customer need to understand and accept, get adapted to. And when we talk about the end users, again, they need to be comfortable using the technology, because many of us are not very comfortable going to a shop and paying through our mobile phones or something, because we are scared about the current frauds and other things, which obviously a security expert can talk much better. But when we talk about the big organizations as well, when we go and pitch our uh, orders, obviously there is a huge glitch by the leadership there, that how are they going to train their current employees using the latest technologies. So that is again a challenge, but that is where we work on it and start thinking about moving all the manual things or data available towards the digital platform. And obviously this is how we go, and then the end thing what we showcase there. Obviously people would be talking about measuring, how we measure the improvement or the performance, showing them what good has been done and what good could be done in future based on the latest technology being in use. So when we talk about this, there are 5 elements which I was talking about. Engagement is one which we start with. So obviously we interact with, when I talk about my customers, it could be anybody, people attending this session could be our customers. And when we talk about small and medium enterprises here, obviously the owners there are again, or the leadership there are the people whom we interact to, make them understand their pain points, what a customer is. So when we talk about a customer, in a very simple Hindi language, customer is somebody who jo कष्ट से मर रहा है, somebody dying out of pain. This is how I take them as. And that is where we engage them, understand their problems. And then once people are comfortable, we move towards the next step. That is process and innovation, where we tell them what processes are going to be involved, what better things could be done. And then obviously we talk about technology, we talk about business culture, because there are multiple people, multiple organizations involved. I alone cannot do anything, neither the other person can. It is about a group work, which an organization does it, or multiple organizations come together and do it. And obviously, when we talk about performance and data analytics shows the actual thing. And when we talk about this, what exactly the strategy could be. So I will not start reading out everything in detail, but we need to understand what these things work towards. Targeting the new opportunities. Obviously, when you have a better system, very basic example, compare yourself using a typewriter and a laptop or a computer with a printer. In a typewriter, you type once. If you want to retype it, you will have to retype the entire text. But in computer, you can save it and you can execute multiple printouts as and when needed. So that is where the technology comes, and we improve ourselves towards better opportunities. We can cater more number of people by the latest technologies. And then we talk about design for the customer. Obviously, every customers will have a different thought process. For an example, I liked white background of the screen and I have used it. Others might think about having a different shade of the background. So what a customer wants should be given to them. And that is where the engagement work starts, when we are trying to help them with marketing pitches, sell them the processes, and end result is they do a better sale and a marketing pitches to their end customers. And obviously, when we talk about scaling and rewiring the culture, is nothing but engaging them and making the things much bigger. That is how we go ahead with. So this is how the 5 things I've put it in a circle now. So we target the new opportunities, design for the customers, build, as I said, we are engaging them, scaling them and rewiring them. This is, again, it's a round robin thing which keeps on moving. So it is not that once we have targeted a new opportunity, it's over. We keep doing it. It's an iterative process. So this is how we go it. This is the flow of how a project transformation project would get implemented. So we understand the process, something very similar to a basic SDLC, what people are taught during their engineering days. So this is how we understand the problems, we define it properly. Then obviously we design what needs to be done. We prepare the product, because it's not something which we go and speak out and it is done. So when we talk about the transformation project, what all technology are needed, how it is to be done. So an architecture needs to be designed, and then it needs to be implemented. So once you implement anything, it's a very basic thing, you test it. So this is in a very software and a marketing language. If I talk in terms of how a chef does it, chef does the same way. He thinks what a customer would like. He prepares a recipe in his mind. He prepares the recipe again practically, and he tastes it. How does the food looks like? And then he gives it to his first customer. That is what the pilot is about. And when the first customer gives, or first person gives the feedback, you scale the product, and then you make it as a hero product down the line. So I'm talking in terms of a chef. Similarly, a person in the IT industry would do the same thing. Similarly, a doctor thinks in the similar manner. And they are also technologists these days. They use multiple technologies now. So if we start talking about them, it will take a lot of time. And with interest of that, I'm just moving to the next slide. So this is how the funnel works. So when you have multiple things in mind, but when we start doing it at the end of the day, we find that the percentage is minimal but accurate. This is like you start marketing the same way. When you do a traditional marketing, you talk to 100 people, 50 turn out to your shop, and then out of 50, 40 ask you for the prices, and 30 buys it. So we have a 30% conversion. And those 30 again help you scaling more, bringing more customer in. So that is how it scales up. So this is a typical funnel which we talks about. And obviously, when we are moving towards the end of my session, we need to talk about what are the strength of digital transformation. So we call them pillars. It depends how people perceive it. Many people call as customer experience, customer satisfactions, all are digital transformation pillars. But actually what we are talking about is moving from manual analog towards a digital platform. And this is how it is. IT infrastructure. The main important thing is IT infrastructure. That is the basic. So once we have the IT infrastructure, we talk about digitizing. So this is how we move towards, and then the digital marketing happens. Traditional marketing was there in place. It is still in place, but a digital marketing adds to it. And when we talk about digital marketing, I'm very honestly saying I have interacted with many people who understand only SEO and SEM as digital marketing. No, it is not. Even if you are sending something over WhatsApp, SMS, email, or a telephone call, if you are selling something, is the digital marketing. Many of us do not understand how a call center agent does it. So when you call to a Airtel, Vodafone, any call centers and say that you are moving out or porting out, they give you an offer to retain you back. That is a best fit offer which an agent offers you based on analytics, advanced analytics data available in his system. And that is where and then obviously once things are in place, operations start. And it's a cycle. When I say uplift again means improvising your hardware, software. It's again a complete cycle which keeps on moving and getting improved day by day. So this is how I have put it here, that what every pillar show tells you about. So I've said what it is, what are the benefits of each pillar here, who are the people who are working on it. So it's capabilities required basically. So I'm talking about that, and the KPIs through which we measure them or we use them. So this is how it is about. And when I talk about in a layman's language, when I don't show you tables and all, I'll show you benefits here. It is about a flexible platform, so you don't have to worry about it, because integration with multiple platform is much easier. You can send one message to 100 people at just single click. So it is not about calling 100 people one by one and telling them. It is on one click. So it could be multiple flexible platforms, ecosystem of tools. Obviously, the cost reduces. Making 100 calls to 100 people, you just need to click one button and it is done. Obviously, the initial investment might be a little high because of capex, but down the line, the break-even is much faster. Efficiency. At a single click of a button, you reach out to hundreds of people. Or if you put a digital display in your shop, it reaches to many people at one shot. The moment people enter to your shop, they can see the things. And that is how optimization I'm talking about. We optimize the processes by reaching out to many people, selling things better, upsell and cross-sell. When I talk about when people come to your shop, they see the things available there, and there are proper marketing done, or the visuals available. They need not go to a particular counter to look into the things, or they need not navigate your website, e-commerce website, to look for a product. If it is flashing in the front itself, or if they put a keyword and find it out, it helps them. And the moment you scale up, your brand value grows. And that is how you, as an enterprise or a seller or a company, grows better. So you have multiple opportunities coming up, and then obviously many more brands come and do a coalition work. So they come and join your hands. You have more customers coming in because they understand the loyalty does not talk about only points. It talks about what a customer would look for, and if a customer is happy, the customer might be happy because he comes to your store or to comes to your e-commerce site and find the things much easier than rather searching to a shop and could have a language barrier, many more things. I myself remember when I was in Tamil Nadu, I used to carry a Tamil speaking book along with me, read out what the word I need to, and then get the things from the shop. So that is what it is about. And obviously, you grow. So revenue grows, the wallet share grows. That is why I said the initial cost might be a factor, but down the line, the break even happens very fast. It is all about right consultation, right tools, and right people using it, right people implementing it. This is what about the basics of digital transformation, digital marketing, getting digitalized, I would say. So this is where it is about. And where I stop now, and this is where I'm stopping now, and I would request Dojo to take the next speaker forward, and so that he can make you understand about digital marketing, digitalization much more in depth.
Thank you, Mr. Gaurav. In fact, a very neat and crisp presentation about the starting about what digital platform is all about and the pillars and the complete aspects of it. So I would like to now thank you, Mr. Gaurav, very much. And it was indeed quite easy to understand and put it in such a simple form so all of us could understand it quite well. I would like to welcome Mr. Rahul Kumar Gupta as a digital transformation technologist, and he comes with an experience of over 20 years, 360-degree experience in consulting, conceptualization, digital strategy, and ideation, digital marketing, customer service experience strategy, uh, various other technology-related experience. He's a digital strategist, technocrat, author with a proven track record, an innovative, self-driven, result-oriented, passionate principal architect come certified SAFE, Scrum, Kanban, a professional who is eager in adopting uh, ever-changing business requirements and new technologies. So, uh, currently engineering lead for microservices and cloud-based e-commerce platform and added skills. Rahul has worked with variety of open source automation, Java and web business application in the digital CX and product development. So, Mr. Rahul will be talking about measuring ROI on digital transformation and the key trends of digital transformation. So let's welcome Mr. Rahul. Mr. Rahul, over to you.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you, Dojo. And Gaurav, I must say it's a very crisp and a clean presentation. 15 minutes, a very good presentation talking about what is digital transformation is and what are the benefits. I'll take it from here, and I'll let me know when you start people seeing my slides. Again, I'm going to show you some slides.
Sure.
Are you able to see?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you. So I'll take it from where the Gaurav has left, right? So I'll just skip this introduction. Dojo has given a very good introduction of mine. Let's start with digital transformation. Am I right? Gaurav talks about what is digital transformation and what are the benefits. My question is, whenever we start any digital transformation, the first question we should ask is why we want to do it. If everyone says, oh, only this is for, I want to increase the revenue, then I think we are looking at only one dimension. Digital transformation is not just increasing your revenue. It is much more that. And we'll see what all different areas are. I'll try to cover most of the things. But after the moment you know that, yes, I know why I want to do it, then the next question comes in, what should we do? In why, what should we do? There might be 10 ways to achieve it. What is the best way to move forward? what is the first thing I start doing it? Correct? Now, before I get into this, so the first question comes to my mind: where to start? What are the key trends I'm seeing in the people in the industry, which people are adopting, which I can see and I can relate to my business and start looking into those. So let's understand how digital transformations projects triggers. So you have a digital transformation. Digital transformation. It normally triggers either through the business needs, where somebody says, "I want to increase my revenue or decrease my total cost of ownership, or I want to go to the new business world or new business model," those kind of things. And there might be another way which triggers the transformation, which Gaurav also talks about, is a technology led. For example, 8 to 10 years back, that the cloud has come to the picture, right? So suddenly, people are moving towards the technology. This is a technology-led transformation because now you are seeing that the moment I adopt the technology of cloud, I can have a lower TCO. I assume people understand TCO is a total cost of ownership. I can easily reach out to new digital world. I can go to the new geos, new set of people. So these are the two main trigger points. This is how your digital transformation projects or your organization starts. Now, digital transformation is not only about the IT. In a digital transformation, there are 5 types of process transformation used. First is transformation. Second is organization transformation. Third is technology transformation, and so forth, so on. I can give a lecture on this, but understand, digital transformation is not just for sales revenue, increasing sales revenue. Digital transformation is not about the IT. It's a complete overall. It can be a small project like I want to improve my employee productivity. It itself is a digital transformation project because you might start adopting new processes and all those. Now, to understand what are the different trends is going on, where the people are moving, what are different companies are doing. So I just try to summarize top 6 areas. The first one is personalized experience. Now, what exactly is a personalized experience? It means you are trying to know your customer well and deliver compelling value. I don't want to give a random things to my customer. I want to understand what customer X wants. Now, how do I want? We'll talk about later, but that is the need for the personalized experience. Imagine when you get into the Flipkart and Amazon, it shows you, oh, last time you come to this, you bought this. So for you, this is a recommended. This is a personalized experience. This is what a small kind of a experience I'm talking about. There are a hell lot of things that you can do in personalized experience. And people are doing it for last 15, 20 years, but still it is a very much open space that people are using. How can I do it? I can do a personalized experience across touch point. The moment I say touch point, I'll say mobile, web, store, all those areas, wherever the customer comes to me. Personalized promotion. I know Rahul Gupta loves to buy shirts, am I right? So the moment I logged in, a system will say, oh, Rahul Gupta, you are Rahul Gupta, you love shirts, 10% additional promotion for you. Correct? Digital campaigns. Giving a digital campaign is a personalized experience. Now, what you get when you do a digital transformation, the moment you have a better personalized experience, you have an enhanced customer engagement and loyalty. We improve customer satisfaction and we improve revenue because the moment customer has a better experience, it gives you more business. The second trend we see is improved customer support and a frontline executive. These are the two different extreme worlds, am I right? The person who is reaching to you as a salesman or frontline executive. Second is a person who is sitting in the back office. This is also a trend companies are moving towards it. So basically, you value your customer time and sentiment. You understand what the customer is going through. Imagine whenever you go to the customer care, you are basically not happy. Now, if the customer is not able to deal you properly, not give you time, you feel further frustrated. Am I right? Similarly, when somebody comes to you, try to sell you, if he doesn't know your name and all what are things that he knows about you. Imagine a salesman comes to you, he knows that you bought the last time, let's say X item, and he says, yo, you bought the last X time. This is a time for you to upgrade it or buy a Y item. You'll definitely tends to do it. You love that company, am I right? What exactly you can use? You can use a cognitive technologies like voice-enabled self-service, chatbots, empowering frontline employees with a handheld devices or mobile apps, correct? Improve the processes which takes too much of time. For example, you should see the returns, item returns process of Amazon, it's tremendous. The moment you say, I want to return it, next day they come to, they improved it, am I right? But there might be other companies who doesn't have that level of returns experience, cancellation, conflict resolutions. These are the areas you can go and improve it. Now, when you do it, what exactly it will happen? It will help you to reduce your total cost of ownership. Imagine if you don't have a voice-enabled self-service or chatbot, imagine how many calls your customer care support will start receiving it. And in today's world, most of the things get self-solved with a chatbots and voice-enabled services. Improve customer experience and ultimately increase revenue. Third is empowering employee. So see what I said to you, two types of triggering. This slide talks about the business led, correct? Now in first two columns, I talked about customer. This is the in-house trend where companies are moving towards empowering their employee. How to get the best out of the employee, how to give them the most facilities, am I right? So what exactly is empower employee and value their time? How you can do it? Adopt more productivity tools. Let's something like Microsoft 365, virtual and distributed employees, automating the repetitive back office tasks. Imagine you start doing it. This is just a small list, 3 or 4 items. Imagine what all you can do to improve the life of the employee, and what will give you in return, higher productivity of the employee, lower employee iteration, lower operation cost. Okay. Now let's look at the from the second side, technology led. The key trend is the data driven analytics. Most of the time, the business says, "Oh, I know X customer living in X area wants to buy only certain things." Am I right? This is purely based on the gut feeling. It should not be a gut. It should be a data driven. What all different people has bought in different areas. Do customer segmentation. Do lot of business analytics. How many people has returned? Which type of product they are buying? These all things are called data driven analytics. Am I right? What exactly it means? Listen what's inside the data. When I say listen what inside the data means, there are a lot of things the data talks. When you see with the eyes, it just talks about two things. But when you start analyzing it, it has 100 things for you. You might have learned the statistics, correlation, regression, strategy. All those funda comes into this. Now, what will help you? If you have a better data, do a better data, you can easily improve your product line. You can do a very effective marketing and promotion because you know which promotions are working, which kind of a marketing strategy is working for you, which is not working for you. You can define an effective pricing strategy. You know, understand why people are buying it, why people are not buying in which area. You can reduce the returns and cancellation of your orders. You can even reduce the fraud because you can analyze the profile of the people. Oh, this kind of people are basically involved in frauds, or they can do a bad debt if you're going for EMI options. Those kind of analysis you can derive when you look at the customer behaviors across the channel, and that gives you a lot of benefits. What exactly it gives you? It empowers you to take a effective decision making, which returns in the satisfied customers, increased revenue, lower total cost of ownership, because now you see less frauds, less bad debts, less returns. You don't have to do a manual work. A lot of things has been automated. Those kind of things. Second is the cloud solutions. Am I right? This is more driving towards evaluating your IT resources as per current needs and the roadmap. It's very important. Sometimes you might have as an organization, you might have 10 servers. Do you really need 10 servers? Or you are paying so much of money in maintaining those? Can I move to the cloud? Yes or no. The decisions can be taken. Start looking at that from that perspective. How you can do it? Instead of creating your own application, look at the SaaS applications available to us. Instead of creating your own servers and forms, can I use cloud infra? What is the benefit? I can able to run my business anytime, 24/7. I don't need to have an IT person sitting 100% dedicated time of 100 people, correct? It converts your IT expenditure from capex to opex. You can pay as you go, pay as you grow. So much of flexibility. You don't have to upfront go and put your money. And again, Nowadays, a concept called multi-cloud solution where clouds at Azure, AWS. So you can look for the best of the solutions available in those solutions and then start using them in tandem. What exactly again? Lower TCO, easy to expand to the new markets, increased revenue. The moment you go to the new markets, definitely a new revenue channel. AI/ML. Lot of people talk about AI/ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning. What exactly it is? It helps you to automate decision making in business activity. So normally your data and AI/ML go hands in hand. Okay, so you use data and then you put AI/ML algorithms over it and it gives you those, helps you take decisions and those. What exactly it does? AI powered and machine learning solution identify patterns. Am I right? These are the patterns which works, which helps you to forecast lot of things. Am I right? How the sales going to be in after 2 months? What is the what product is going to be in more demand based on the past history? Those kind of things your artificial intelligence can help you, or machine learning can help you to take a decision rather than going by a gut feel or spending hours of taking to figure out, oh, these are the 10 products I have to. Imagine if I know the right kind of forecasting, I don't need to spend so much of money in having an inventory for 10 other items which is not going to sell at that level, correct? Automate activities. There are a lot of activity, for example, decision making, data driven, all those. You can automate it like this. What exactly? There's a difference, am I right? If you see the data driven, we talk about effective decision making. With the AI/ML, we have efficient decision making, lower TCO, higher productivity, and increased revenue. These are the top 6 trends which is still valid for across, not for the Indian company, but across the world, which I see, it's my experience based on my interaction with the European and customer. Most of the people are still investing in these 6 trends. Although you'll see a lot of other things like IoT and all those things. Those things are also working, but these are the top 6 things that people are working. Now, imagine we had a digital transformation project. We defined a digital transformation project. We know why, we know what, but we don't know how to measure it. Am I right? So we already know what and why. Now it's time to understand how should I measure? What is the effectiveness? How I'm progressing in my digital transformation projects? Is it really viable for business, viable for me or not? Or is it I wasted my entire money? So the important is how to measure it, correct? So again, to measuring it, there are certain KPIs and matrices. I'm just going to share with you, which you can start with. Again, this is not the end. Every business can define their own KPIs, own matrices, based on what is their business model and which they want to do. Because which KPI and matrices you have to use is depending on why you want to do it and what you want to do it. Based on that, you'll define which all KPIs and matrices you're going to use. Now, based on the key trend we had seen, these are the 4 things comes out. Am I right? Lower TCOs, revenue increase, increased customer or employee engagement, and improved business agility. This is the 4 things we've seen, correct? Now, based on that, I would like to give you an overview of this. Ideally, a lot of the KPIs are there in the market. If you categorize them, there are 3 levels of KPIs actually, which is called enterprise level KPIs, operational KPIs, and customer centric KPIs. When I say enterprise KPIs, it talks about ROI, profitability, revenue growth, market position, all those things. When you start measuring those at the strategic level, value chain at the top level for the CXO, CIO's level. Operational KPI, which talks about operational excellency, process improvement, correct TCOs, customer cost, reducing customer cost. Those kind of things are called operational KPIs. Then there is something called customer centric. When I say customer centric, you can include employee centric things also, like customer satisfaction, lifetime, retention, loyalty, number of orders the customer is placing, number of time he is abandoned the shopping cart. Those are customer centric KPIs. Now, I just want to cover around 6 to 8 key KPIs that people are using. Again, these are not the complete list, but you can still look at for the reference. First is the ROI, very simple. KPI to evaluate investment on gain. How much you had spent, how much you are getting back, and by when, based on the net percentage, interest rate, all those, you calculate the ROI. Very figure. Second is the operational KPI. Operational KPI, efficiency and impact of the operational cost. User engagement, which is where we talk about employee and customer. KPIs to measure the engagement level of employees and consumers. Workforce productivity, KPIs to measure productivity increase in workforce employee. Digital business KPIs to measure business values from old business and the new digital source. When I say new digital source, that means I am adding I did some kind of a business transformation, digital business transformation, where let's say I introduce a new channel or a new device support or a new business region. How much I'm earning from that? That is a digital business KPIs. Activity KPIs measured to activity usage, how much licenses I am using, how much tickets I am creating, correct? Those kind of things are called normal activity you do is called activity KPIs. Digital platforms, whenever you launch a new digital platform, how it is performing, how many releases are we making? This is pure technical side. What is the availability? What are the risk factors? Am I right? Because ultimately, when you are doing any digital transformation, there is a digital platform involved. So definitely, there is a need to measure digital platform also. And then last is the innovation KPI. People might say, why it is required? Because what I believe is nowadays people are talking about digital business KPI. So much a revolution is going on. Definitely, there is some kind of innovation going on. Correct? Definitely, every company has an R&D department. They are spending money on that. Definitely, there is a need to measure it. That what are the number and the value of successful innovation? How much money we had spent? How much we get out of from that innovation? So far, so good. I'm trying to go fast because we're just 15 minutes, but I can talk on hours on this. Now, these are the KPIs, the bigger areas. First of all, categories, then you have key KPIs within those categories. And within these KPIs, there are some matrices that we can have. I'm not going to read out each and every matrices, but definitely this will give you a hell lot of idea. For example, if you see in operations matrices, you can start calculating cost of customer acquisition, hours saved, cost per click, cost per order, correct? Similarly, in the business matrices, you have ROI, return ratio, how many items has been returned in corresponding number of items sale, or number of order cancellation, net sales, average basket size, channel specific sales, customer engagement, how much customer is engaged to you, card abandon ratio, what is the order conversion, average time spent by the customer on your application, what is the CSAT rating, correct? Employee, what is the employee iteration, what is the employee satisfaction index? Now these are the, again I said, these are the KPIs which you take based on why, what and how. One thing is very important. When we are deciding to measure it, it is very important that you should have a benchmark data with you. If you don't have a benchmark data, what you want to measure, then my advice is start doing it before triggering your digital transformation plan. Start creating the benchmark, because that's how you're going to measure it, whether it's working fine or not. Am I right? Digital business matrices, revenue from a new business products, revenue from the new business channel. Let's say I come up with a mobile app. How many times the mobile apps has been downloaded? How many times it has been installed? Time to market a new product. Am I right? Platform matrices. When I say digital platform, what is the uptime? Number of releases you can do. Search engine matrices, performance matrices. These are some of the matrices that you should. There are n number of matrices they can do for, but just for ready reference for you guys, this is a starting point for you. In the end, I would say, if everything is going fine in your business, that means we are not measuring it or reporting it right. Then definitely there is a need for us to start measuring it correctly. Choose the correct KPIs and matrices and start measuring it. And don't feel bad if the numbers are not healthy or good. Start reporting it, because unless until you report and measure and report it, you will not improve it. That's all from my presentation. I'm open for the questions if you have.
Thank you, Mr. Rahul. Wonderful presentation indeed. And as we discuss, any questions, any clarifications, please put in your doubts or clarification in the chat box. I would like to invite Mr. Pugal for the next presentation. Mr. Pugalti is a senior consultant at Tally Solution. He has over 36 years of experience in the field of accounts, inventory, statutory, and training. He is associated with Tally Solution for the last 15 years as senior consultant, as shoulders various responsibilities in the organization, heading various functions like Tally's education division, head of compliance, R&D, head product management audit tool, and conducted over 100 ICICI chapter events across India. From July 2016, he was entrusted with the responsibility of GST knowledge base and dissemination of knowledge and imparting training on the GST domain as head Center of Excellence GST. During his stint, he has conducted over 200 GST domain sessions for various stakeholders like chartered accountants, tax practitioners, tally partner, ecosystem, and customers. Conducted faculty development program for college professors and faculty across India. So the topic what Mr. Pugal will be talking today is about digitizing the GST compliance. Very interesting session for all the SMEs. Mr. Pugal, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Dojo. So once again, good evening to all the participants. So again, I will be continuing from where Mr. Gaurav started, and then Mr. Rahul Gupta ji had mentioned about why, what, and how you can implement the digital transformation. So one of the other important aspect is the compliance. So all of us know that now the GST compliance, we have seen a lot of changes that have happened in the compliance system. Today you will know exactly what is the amount of input tax credit that you are eligible to claim, and literally your GSTR return forms are automatically getting pre-filled, right? So the technology again is playing a very, very important role, and it is very important now that you have your entire business data, which is your financial data, inventory data, people who are dealing with inventory, traders and manufacturers, and of course the compliance is very, very important and very critical. We all know that when GST was introduced on 1st of July 2017, for almost about 2 years, it was really a chaotic situation. So even though the law was talking about the buyer can get the input tax credit only if the seller is uploading the invoice and other things, but then slowly things, the technology started improving. They were able to get a better handle on the the entire technological aspects of GST compliance. And if you see in 2019, the government said that you can claim only 20% of the additional purchase invoices that you have accounted in your books of account, right? And then in 20 basically they have reduced to 10%. In 21, from January 21, they said no, you can claim only 5% extra. We are all aware of that. And from 22 January, again, I'm sure that all of you are aware that no additional input tax credit can be claimed by any dealer apart from those invoices that have been uploaded by your supplier, right? So now the e-invoice, we all know that from 1st of April, the e-invoice will be applicable for all those businesses whose turnover in the previous year, which is 21-22, is 20 crore and above. And every year we will, the threshold limit is going to get decreased, and eventually someday in the next 2-3 years, like everybody are going to be covered under the e-invoice regime. So it is very important that we start gradually adopting technology and have an integrated system where you have all this information of your finance and especially the compliance part of it. So in my session today, basically I'm going to talk about how easy, simple it is going to be for you to digitize your GST compliance, and get all your GST related information, and provide your information in your GST return forms by click of a button. So I have a small presentation. Let me just share my presentation. Is it visible?
Yes, Puggal, it was visible. Yeah, please carry
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So digitizing GST compliance. So how can you become future ready using technology and digitizing your thing? So we have Tally. You know that Tally has been a technology partner for over 35 years for SMEs of our country, and Tally provides a comprehensive business solution which takes care of accounting, inventory, and compliance aspect of it. So, what are the compliance module that Tally provides, especially from GST's compliance point of view? How GST compliance is simplified in Tally is what we will understand. So, if you see the compliance control, the design of any software is basically need to have control of three important aspects, so that the compliance of GST or any statutory compliance are accurate, and you are able to adhere to the timeline. So the three core controls are detection. So if there are any data, if it is not in compliant with the requirement of the law, how soon the software system can detect. Okay, the most important thing is that how can you prevent it from any error being occurred. So the detection, prevention, and the most important thing is how seamlessly a software or a technology can allow you to correct those information which are missing or incorrect information, so that you are able to move on with your compliance as per the timelines. Now if you take GST in Tally, uh, uh, people who are already using Tally, and if you are not using GST compliance, it is very very simple. And this is the right moment. I mean, like, in the next 15 today is what, 19th, so maybe in the next 15 days, we will be moving into the next financial year. So to it's a right time for people who have not implemented GST using a technology, whether you are using Tally or any software you are using. It is very important you start digitizing your GST compliance. So taking Tally, it is very simple. So there are three aspects to GST compliance. Number one is, you do some kind of a small configuration in the master, and then moment you configure the master, as you start capturing the transaction, Tally is going to validate your data, and then this is where it is going to prevent you from any wrong information that you're going to capture, and you will get a report where you can view the reconciliation of the information and then upload the information. So what are things that you can do in the master? If you see, as far as GST is concerned, you can, and these are just one time configuration that is required for you. So rate of tax can be captured, type of GST transactions can be captured, and type of tax, whether it is taxable, exempted, and all those types of taxes can be captured. Description, HSN and SAC, because now you have to give HSN wise, rate wise detail in the written form. So a technology will help you to get these information faster, swifter. The moment you capture these information in the master, the all the rules that have been specified in the master gets inherited in the transaction, and there are a lot of inbuilt intelligence built in the system, like for example, you are, let us say you are in Karnataka, where you are doing a business, where you are a supplier, and your customer, let's say he is in Telangana. So the moment you create the master of the customer, automatically, the technology will know that when you are raising an invoice to this particular customer, IGST is going to be applicable, the interstate tax is going to be applicable. So these kind of intelligence are built in the Tally, so that the user is not going to commit the basic or the fundamental error in the compliance aspect. If there are any discrepancies while passing the transaction, then the system is going to throw an alert for any discrepancy. And just in case if the user is overlooking while capturing the transaction, you are going to get a return reconciliation report where the technology is going to tell you what are the transactions which are incomplete, or uh, you know uh, have some kind of an error or mistake. And the best part is that the triangulation report is basically going to allow the user to identify, it is going to detect the error, uh, the missing aspect of it can be immediately detected. The system is going to tell you that what is the area of mistake, or the misinformation, or incomplete information which are there, and it is going to allow you to basically correct it on the fly. Okay, so these are the controls that are there. And setting up of GST is very, very simple again. So you can set it up at the company level, so which means literally we can say that if you want to set up GST, if you're using Tally, it should not take more than 3 minutes for you to set up GST. So all you need to do is just specify the GST information, what kind of information you can set up at the company level. You can specify the description, HSN, SAC code, rate of tax, everything can be set up at the company level, and you are compliance for GST, and you can start capturing your GST record, and by click of a button you can generate your information for return filing. Right. So this might not be the use case for every one of you, because many of you would have dealing in goods which have different GST rate. How do you handle that? So you can set up at the company level. You can also set up at the if you are a trader or a manufacturer, you can set up the GST configuration at the stock group level. It can, and it automatically inherits, basically it inherits all the information. And if any particular stock item has got a different rate, you can go and specify that at the stock item level also. So this is how you basically configure the GST part. Now the next question is that I am a service provider, so I am not dealing in any goods or items. So will Tally support me for GST compliance? Yes, Tally supports you for GST compliance. So again, you can set it up at the company level. If you are a service segment service provider, so you can set it up at the accounting group level. The logic is the same. Stock group, similarly you can set up at the accounting group level. It automatically inherits. If you set up at one group level, all the ledger master or the stock items created under that particular group will automatically inherit the rate. So which means literally if you set up at the company level, and let's say you are dealing in 500 items, theoretically let's say all the 500 items that you are dealing has got a single GST rate and single HSN code, then all you need to do is just set up that information at the company level. Tally will automatically auto populate all the GST configuration for all your 500 items. And also in future, whatever new items that you are going to create, the GST configuration will automatically get inherited. The user need not have to go and configure or specify GST information. So for a service provider, you can specify at the accounting group level, the accounting ledger level, you can specify. Right. So once you do this, all this information can be captured and you are ready for GST. The most important thing, see, these master configuration is one time configuration, as I mentioned, but it is very, very important, very critical. So how does it help? Like simple example, if you are specifying the state, country, and pin code is for your e-way bill purpose, once you are specifying this information, then the technology, the intelligence that is built in the technology, it helps you to identify whether the transaction is an intrastate or interstate transaction. Next is by just selecting the type of registration, whether the person is a regular dealer, composite dealer, unregistered dealer, or a customer. This information is going to help you to identify whether the transaction is a B2B transaction or whether it is a B2C transaction. Right, so there are further other configurations that you can specify, where you can specify whether the transaction is a deemed export, whether you're selling it to embassy, and all those aspects you can capture them. The whole idea is, once this is set up, automatically Tally is going to take this information and it is going to populate in the respective table of your GSTR return form, GSTR1 or GSTR3B. So this is where it is going to help you. The consumer unregistered, it is going to populate in table 5A, 5B, which is, if it is more than 2.5 lakh, it is going to say B2C large. If it is less than 2.5 lakh, it is going to automatically capture the value as B2C small. So this is where it helps you to be compliant faster, so that the system is going to actually be compliant for your GST return filing. Now, the moment you have done this, normal way you have been passing your purchase entry, sale entry, you just do those entry, and you will see here automatically your GSTR1 is getting auto-populated or captured. And this is where you will see the uncertain transaction. So in this screen, there is no uncertain transaction. If there are any uncertain transaction, it is going to give you the statistics saying that, okay, 5 entries, there is an error. So you just have to select it and enter. Tally is going to give you the nature of incomplete information or nature of error, where you drill down and then you correct it on the go, and then the return form is going to be ready. So your GSTR1 return is ready. GSTR3B also gets captured. So this avoids the variation in your turnover that is declared in your GSTR1 and your GSTR3B. And generally you would have noticed that this difference in your turnover between your two form is basically because you have some kind of a software for accounting purpose, then you use Excel or another some other tool for GST compliance, which is where you have this difference between the values that basically you keep declaring. So an integrated system plays a very important and key role, so that everywhere you have your information across your forms which are the same, and you are able to have no discrepancy in your information that you are declaring. Okay. Now, when you take Tally Prime, it's more powerful connected services have been provided. So now, with the latest Tally, you can generate your e-invoice from within Tally. So all you need to do is just you have to register, and then it takes hardly 2-3 minutes for you to register. You can generate your e-invoice within Tally, not exporting your file and capturing the data in your portal. So that is one thing that you can do. And also e-way bill can be generated from within Tally, not logging into portal. So what are the things that you can do in the e-way bill thing? So you can fetch e-way bill information from the portal, and then you can update transporter ID, or the part B can be updated, and you can extend your e-way bill. So wherever it is required, again, you do not have to log in. Everything you are going to manage within the software. So you can extend your e-way bill, you can cancel your e-way bill from within the software, and it gets communicated with the respective GST portal, and it gets updated, and the data is going to get captured and stored digitally in your financial data. So that way you have ready information for any future references. What are the connected benefits? Right. So the apart from that, now the other connected benefits are, you can, using the technology or using our Tally, you can, on a real-time basis, you can validate HSN and SSC validation can be done. You can also validate on a real-time basis the GSTN of the party. So any new customer, when you are basic customer or your supplier, when you are creating your master, once you enter the GSTN, you can from within Tally you can validate the GSTN and find out whether the GSTN is right, whether the GSTN belongs to the same taxpayer or the dealer. You can find out. So these are the new enhancements, the connected benefit that Tally brings in. And HSN wise, rate wise reporting, which I just mentioned in GSTR1, just by doing this configuration you are able to get all this information by click of a button. Right? So digitization again for compliance plays a very, very important role, and the right time is the new financial year is coming, and people who have not digitized your GST compliance, we would request you to kindly digitize and make your compliance much, much easier, simpler, so that your time can be spent in taking care of your business and growing your business. Thank you very much. Over to you, Mr. Dojo.
Thank you, Pugal, for this session. In fact, GS is the aspects of getting to the digital aspect. We do add welcome our speaker, Mr. Pratik Sharma. Pratik Sharma is your security bulls. His experience is an experienced information security professional and operational manager with a demonstrated history of working in the information security stream. Skilled in infrastructure service, security service, penetration testing, business development, marketing strategy, and GRC consulting. Helping the company to secure is the IT asset with human intelligence-based penetration testing, having experience of working with various BFSI and fintech companies across the globe. Mr. Pratik will be talking about digital transformation framework for SMEs and startup. So let's welcome Mr. Pratik. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Dojo, for giving this opportunity and for my introduction. So basically I'm giving my talk on the digital transformation framework, and since I belong to a startup and working with a lot of SME startup audience, so basically we have created a framework that we are helping them, through which we are helping them to achieve the digital transformation framework. And first of all, I just want to explain what is digital transformation framework, because people still don't understand the digital transformation. A lot of companies, especially the startups or the SMEs, they think that digital transformation is just achieving, just migrating over the cloud, or just making a website and putting your services on that website as a digital transformation. Yes, it's a part of digital transformation, but it's not digital transformation entirely. So digital transformation framework is a framework which you can use to achieve the entire digital transformation throughout your whole business processes, like your operations, like your customer excellence, like your information security strengthening, and a lot of other sales improvement, process improvement. A lot of things are there. So this is basically the digital transformation framework, and now I'm going to share my screen to present. So hope it is visible to you.
Yes, we can see.
Yeah.
It's clear.
Okay, great. Yeah. So basically, digital transformation framework I have explained, and for the SME and startup, it is quite difficult to achieve. The reason is because they have limited resources and limited leadership roles and limited budget as well. So these are the reasons it's quite hard for them to achieve it. But yeah, again, it's very important to achieve it as well, because like earlier speakers have explained about what is digital transformation, why it is important. But what if we are not achieving digital transformation? What happens exactly? If you might have aware about the Nokia and Motorola case studies. So they have also tried achieving the digital transformation, but they haven't moved with it, right? I mean, if the Nokia has accepted the Android and moved ahead with it, then probably Nokia would be here and competing with the MI, Samsung or other players in the market, but they haven't. So that's the reason like they are not in the market at the moment. So for now or later, you have to achieve the digital transformation. You have to adopt it, and to adopt it, it's not a process of a week or month or so. It's a process. It's a long-term process based on your capacity, based on your budget, based on your business nature and all these things. So yeah, this is the basically why it is important, and all these things as explained by the earlier speakers. So I'm just coming on to some of the inspiring digital transformation examples. Like if you might have heard about the Netflix. Netflix is a brand, like it does. Nobody knows that. Like a lot of people thinks that Netflix has just started a few years back when we started watching it on through the OTT platform or something. But no, it's not. It has started almost 20 years back, 1990, 25 years back, early 90s. And that time it was doing a business of CD, delivery of the CD, DVD players, and just to watch the movies, they were delivering it to the courier. And in fact, the users, what they analyzed, what they thought, because they were couriering the CD DVDs to the customers, right? And customer has to in return courier the same DVD back to the Netflix so that they can courier to the same DVD to the other customers. So this was very hectic process. Like many of us doesn't know, because Netflix only was working in the USA or North American market that time. But yeah, Netflix had started with this, and then a couple of years of digital transformation journey, Netflix started with movie indexing, and then they have moved to kind of like they have they have subscription-based plans. They have started with, instead of delivering the CD DVDs, they have started with the subscription-based plans. And till the 2003, Netflix has just reached to 1 or 2 million customers only. But when they started, just a minute, sorry. So when they started with digital transformation, now they have almost customer base of 190 million, and that is just because of the operations. The OTT network they have started, right? And Zerodha Upstocks, Zerodha is our client, and we have very closely watched there's a journey of digital transformation, how they achieved it, how they become number one stock brokerage, discount brokerage brand in India within just 10 years of span. At the other side of like picture, a lot of brands like Angel Broking and Motilal Oswal, a lot of players are there, but still they have been working in the market from 25 plus years. But still Zerodha is one of the top brands. The reason is because they have used the technology very efficiently and very effectively. Mr. Kailash Nath, who is the CTO of Zerodha, he has extremely good understanding of technology, how should they use it, and they have completely automated the things. The process of trading is quite easier. So these are the all things they have achieved, and that's why like Zerodha is now one of the only unicorn which is built up with his own fund without having any third party funds. And Upstock is the similar case. Upstock has, like many of you or nobody, even I wasn't aware about Upstock. Upstock has the previous parent organization, which is RKSV Securities. A lot of people doesn't know that, but they have been running in the market from almost 10 to 15 years, but still couldn't make a mark in the market until and unless they launched Upstocks. But when they launched the Upstock is now popular. Everybody knows, everybody's using Upstocks, just because the value that they're delivering to their customer is extremely different than others. They're the second largest brand in the stockbroking industry with around 4 to 5 million customer base. So this is what about the Upstock. I have read a blog about Upstock's founder, and he have written that why we started Upstock, why we shut down RKSV Securities. The reason is because they have analyzed that their customers wasn't happy. A lot of customers was going and stopped using the RKSV Securities platform because of hectic, process of KYC and all these things, and lack of user interactivity and many other things. And they just wanted to launch a platform which is mobile first platform, and that's the only reason they launched Upstocks. So these were quite a few case studies, or we can say the inspiring journey of digital transformation of some of the brands. So I'll come up on the digital transformation framework and how you can achieve it. So being a startup, like as I said, or SME, as I said, it's quite difficult to achieve it with a very easy steps, but I'll just created it quite easier, like identify, formulate, tech selection, leadership, and digital culture. So these are the 5 things that we have measured that every organization should adopt in order to achieve digital transformation. So I'll step by step come with each of these things. So first, identify. So before starting with any digital transformation journey, any organization has to first understand their current situation, at what level they are at the moment. I mean, how they are delivering their services at the moment. Like as I used the Netflix case study, right? Netflix used to do, I mean, CD delivery, DVD delivery services, but they analyze that customer doesn't need this. Customer are going out. So then you have to analyze like why your customer are not retaining, and what you can do to retain it. You need to set up an objective, that why you should adopt the digital transformation framework, and what are the ways that you can achieve the digital transformation framework. Where are the points where you can implement it. I mean, a lot of people thinks we have just use the technology, or we have just technology. I mean, just establish a trading platform, establish an e-commerce cart, and it's a digital transformation. But it's not, until and unless you're delivering a best solution to your customer. It's not digital transformation. It's not a successful digital transformation, I would say. So yeah, this is like how you can define the objectives. A lot of people's how they achieved it. You can do the competitive analysis, how why organization have achieved if they are in the same domain, and if you can relate with it, and you can have a consulting firm or organization in place, because hiring a team of CXOs is quite hard for the startup or SMEs. To have a CIO in place, to have a CTO in place, to have a CEO and a lot of CXO profiles, it's very difficult for them. So this is the very first step. You need to set up an objective, then you need to create a business model. And coming on to the second one is the formulated digital transformation strategy. Because if we have built something, if we have set something, it's very important to formulate it. Or it's very important to create a roadmap, a detailed roadmap to make it implement the whole framework. It's very important. And in order to implement the whole framework, you can either create a framework and then follow step by step to it. And you can first identify like what your customer needs, what your employee needs, what your operation team needs, what your HR team needs, and how you can make those things better. Like if your sales team, you have achieved the technology, but your sales team is still doing the email pitching, sending the cold emails, cold calls, and just doing the traditional approach to hunt the clients, but that's not relevant at the moment. You have to come up with other things like creating the digital contents, SEO, SMM, and a lot of other things. These are very basic things. They should have knowledge about the Salesforce tools, HubSpot, lead generation, and a lot of lead generation stuffs are there. So these are the things. This is how you can formulate it. And coming to the next is decide the necessary technologies. This is a very challenging part, because I've been interacting with a lot of non-tech guys, I mean non-tech founders, who doesn't understand technology even a bit. They don't have how to use technology, what are technologies, and even there are a lot of founders are there in the market who doesn't know the programming languages and the trends trends like AI, ML, blockchain, a lot of things. But that's very important thing. So either you can hire a consultant, or you can have a CTO in place if you're a startup. If you're a SME, then probably you can look for a person who can work with you closely and who have deep domain expertise of how to use the technology in your business. And then with the help of that guy, you can set up a strong technical technical roadmap. Like these are the technologies we are using, and before that you need to set up that, like we want to use Salesforce in sales process. We want to use KK HR or XYZ solution in the HR process automation. We want to use Haptic or some sort of other chatbot solution in the AI enabled chatbot solutions. We want to secure with security rules for XYZ organizations. So these are the things very important to identify, and also to identify like whether you're using AI, ML, we should use it or not, it is implicable or not. So all these things, this is how you can make it with the help of technologies. Coming on to the other slide, establishing a competent technology leadership.
Pradeep, we have another 2 minutes left for the session. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm just wrapping up. So like establishing a competent technology leadership. So creating a leadership team is important. As I explained, I won't take much of time, but you can hire a technical consulting team if you're a startup, or you can hire or build up a team, and you can start this this journey of technology leadership, creating a technology leadership team. Coming on to the other slide is the staff integration. If you have implemented all these digital transformation strategies, it might take 6 to 8 months or anywhere between that. And after that, you have to implement it throughout your whole organization, right? So this is a quite hectic process because your staff is not prepared from their mindset to accept these changes. This is a change management process and they are not prepared, right? So you need to give them the proper training. The leaders may have to encourage them to use the latest technology instead of doing the traditional one. So these are the things you can use to train your staff. And coming on to the final slide, this is the key member required. So key member required are these: a techno business leader or kind of a CIO or any role who is relevant to this, who have deep domain understanding. Say for example, if you're from the e-commerce, then you should have a person who have deep understanding with the tech